Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have a Taurus ascendant, a Gemini moon, and an Aries sun, then this is your video. So you have your ascendant or your rising sign is in fixed earth, and your moon is in the second house in Gemini, which is mutable air. Okay, and you have your sun in Aries, which is exalted. It's a good position for the sun. The moon is not in a good position. Moon in Gemini is very conflicted, ruled by Mercury. Mercury and moon are not friends. So here you have an exalted sun in Aries, and this would have been powerful if it was not in the 12th house. So giving you an exalted sun in the 12th house means there have been some issues with the father or father figures or with authority or with the way you shine. Things are just a lot under the surface for you. You cannot shine as brightly as an Aries first house sun would do. Okay, so now your of course your rising is ruled by Venus, and this is fixed earth. Okay, so this sign Taurus is essentially dealing with banking and finances, the earth, agriculture, and our physical body. So when the soul goes into Aries, it is the first sign of the zodiac, and the soul experiences a mini Big Bang. Okay, and after Aries, the soul has, simmered in the agitating fires of Aries, and now the soul wants substance. So the soul has come into Taurus to understand embodiment, functionality. Taurus is the archetype of the builder, and the glyph of Taurus is the bull. So immediately you think about how steady, how focused, and the tremendous amount of endurance a Taurus has. Okay, and when you have, so let us understand the ascendant. The degree of the zodiac rising on the eastern side of the horizon at the moment of your birth is your ascendant, and the sign on which it falls is your rising sign. So this is sort of this is your first house. It is an angular house, so it is probably the most important part of your chart. It is how you are plugged into the matrix. It is the first point of touch your soul has made with the 3D matrix. So it is the way you look, the way you gesture, the way you dress, your health, your constitution, your psychological being. All of that is the ascendant. Okay, it is sort of the interface with which you work with society. The Jungian mask. Okay, this is the rising. It is the most you part of the chart. Okay, and that for you is fixed Aries and fixed Earth Taurus. So when you walk into a room, people notice that Venusian side to you. So having your if you have, say, Venus on the first, then you're going to be that classically, ideally beautiful person. Even if you have a conflicted Venus, it is possible that you're still very beautiful, although you may not realize it. Okay, and see, with Taurus, the archetype of the builder, it is always about building something, building friendships, building real estate, building relationships. It's always about building and rooting. So now that you have a Taurus ascendant, then your life has definitely changed since Uranus made his transit into Taurus, because Taurus is fixed, earth, unshakable. And Uranus is like the thunderbolt of awakening that brings abrupt changes. So you feel like your life is completely changed, and it will continue doing so till Uranus is on your rising. Okay, especially when it touches your ascendant point. Okay, the degree of your ascendant. So don't fret, because honestly what's going on is you're rooting. The analogy I want to bring to your mind is that oak trees root even deeper when there are incessant threats of imminent electrical storms. So, you are rooting, Taurus. Yes, all these electrical storms and abrupt stuff is going on around you. But what you are doing is you are rooting right now. If you got your antenna correct about you, you are on the right path with this transit. Now, the thing with Taurus is that because they like substance, they like to take things slow. They're very tactile, touching, feeling, cooking for people, calling people over, feeding them, and all of that is how Taurus embodies existence. Okay, but the thing with Taurus is they can be very much into the good things of life, so much so that they get enmeshed into the physical 3D world, because Venus is about enjoying the world through the 3D sense, through the five senses. Okay, that's how we enjoy 3D. So sometimes the Taurus can get enmeshed in hoarding, procuring, buying, becoming shopaholics, constant retail therapy, always wanting good things, always wanting that car, that house, it's never ending. Sorry, with the hoarding power of Taurus. Okay, they can be temperamental, selfish, controlling, and all of that as well. But you're very beautiful. You could work, having a Taurus rising, you could work with banking, with arts, creativity, beauty industry. Okay, beauty industry can be huge because you have the archetype of the builder. Somewhere your soul karma is about building and rooting. Now you have your moon in Gemini, which is mutable air. Remember, air always scatters. Okay, and Gemini is very dualistic. If you look at the glyph, it is the two twins facing away from one another. So that means that there are always two sides to a Gemini moon. And the moon does not do well in Gemini because moon is not friendly to Mercury. Moon is cold and moist. Okay, and moon does not do well with, does not have a dignity in water and fire, in air and fire signs. She's cold and moist. She rules Cancer. She's exalted in Taurus. Okay, but she does not do well in the sign, in the mutable sign of Gemini. This could mean you're very mutable, very adaptable, your emotions, but you can't really touch base with them. And this is a second house moon, okay, which is Gemini. So you're going to make your money through Gemini, and second house is resources, finances. So you're going to make your money through Gemini endeavors, as in writing, speaking, teaching, any kind of office work, anything mercurial. Okay, even money is nowadays mercurial, because you don't have really hardcore cash anymore, or silver or gold. You are dealing with ones and zeros. Okay, binaries on a computer. That's how you see your money. So you could even be working the stocks, because you have that Aries sun giving you that impetus. But let us understand the moon in greater detail. It's all right to understand the moon doesn't do well in Gemini, but that doesn't mean the moon cannot, once you touch base with your emotional self, the moon will help you open up. Okay, the moon is the very antithesis of the ascendant. It is who you are when the Jungian mask comes off and you're vulnerable. It is who you are when you're most stressed, your everyday habit patterns, your emotions, your mother, your childhood. The moon rules the breast and the stomach. Immediately you understand this is about nourishment. Okay, and the mutable air sign is not very much about nourishment. Okay, it is more about experiences and new things, moving from one thing to the other. So having a moon in Gemini can make you very conflicted, and since you have your moon ruler is Mercury, and Mercury goes retrograde the most, you are really going to feel it during Mercury retrograde. Emotions can play havoc with you. Okay, so Gemini moons are great at communicating. Sometimes they can be known as gossips because they don't know when to be quiet. Okay, there is a tremendous duality about Gemini, because here the energy is very complex, because it wants to express itself through communication. Nothing in this world can happen without communication. So theoretically, nothing can happen without Gemini. Okay, once you touch base, but this can make you very emotionally distant and cold. You know, you're emotionally also connected to the way you make money. So in a sense, you have to have a sense of self-worth with what you're doing if you have a moon in the second. Okay, even it could mean moon sometimes is an older sister or an older sibling who could also be your benefactor and can leave you money with moon in the second. Okay, moon second house is not just money, it is all the resources available to us. So you could, with the second house moon, be getting some resources from your siblings, your neighborhood, or people around you, because Gemini deals with neighborhoods. Okay, and also short distance travel and all kinds of communication. So video making can also be a possibility. Now you have that your mother is also the moon, by the way. Second house moon in Gemini, your mother was never emotionally available for you the way you wanted her to be. So that created a sort of a rift, that a lot of Gemini people have this, Gemini moons have this emotionally unavailable mother. Now you also have that 12th house Aries exalted sun. The sun is the father. The sun is how we illuminate, how we are as leaders, okay, why our soul has incarnated. All of that is the sun. Okay, it is a healthy sense of I am. Right now you have your sun in the 12th house, the house of undoing, the house of evil spirits, where Saturn has his joy. So this is sort of like a difficult situation, because sun in the 12th means father could have been an alcoholic, father could have been a drug addict, father could have been incarcerated or secluded in some way, either forcibly or a chosen seclusion. Okay, your father could have also been very spiritual, very, very spiritual, into mysticism, could have been into the occult arts. And sun is where you bring illumination. 12th house, you're going to bring illumination to these things. But remember, sun in the 12th has to work very hard for what they want to achieve. It's not easy. Okay, because your sun is at the bottom of your chart, and sun does not do well at the bottom of the chart. Okay, there's no place to shine. This is all the realm of the unconscious. So having a 12th house sun in Aries, that too. Okay, Aries in the 12th house can be very problematic, because Aries cuts and burns, and this is the house of the unconscious, evil spirit, so to speak. So that can be very agitating to burn in these tremendous forcible cardinal fire of Aries. Okay, Aries is like a matchstick. You light it, everything goes on fire, and then it closes down. So sun in Aries, and sun is how you want the world to perceive you. So Aries is the trailblazer, the archetype of the pioneer. So you want to come across as this really pioneering, trailblazing individual, but people see the more steadfast, more dependable side of Taurus. So you have the archetype of the builder, you have the archetype of the communicator, you have the archetype of the trailblazer. So you're going to trailblaze and go into new avenues, express them through your Gemini moon, and really build something substantial with that Taurus rising. Because ultimately the sun in the 12th house is about the occult arts, about being mediumistic. So you could also have that very psychic connection. People oftentimes think that there is really no spiritual side to the Gemini, but Gemini moons can get downloads or epiphanies suddenly, quickly, especially if they're supported by 12th house planets. Okay, and here the sun is in a fire sign. So, and the moon is sextiling it. Okay, so this is a harmonious aspect between the father and the mother, also between the emotions and how we project that energy outside. There is definitely a harmony flowing, and a lot of stuff that needs to be communicated through you. So get straight to it and drop me a comment right now and book a reading and enjoy your combination. Thank you.